Welcome to the MSDW podcast. I'm Jason Gumpert, editor at MS Dynamics World. On this episode, we are sharing a deeper look into the MSDW coverage of the recent Resco Next 2025 event. I was on site at Resco's annual customer and partner conference this year. It's all about the company's mobile technology and products, as well as its customers and partners. Their products align with Microsoft's business applications and broader technology landscape, and MSDW was a media partner there. I had a chance to interview several people who presented, including customers, partners, Resco experts, and Microsoft experts. Resco Next was taking place this year at the same time as Microsoft Build 2025. One of the presenters at Resco Next, Microsoft's Daniel Leskowitz, also had a role at Build. He told us he participated in preparing some of the latest Microsoft AI capabilities to show off there, including the newly revealed Dataverse MCP server that the company announced. Here's Daniel.
What I really like about MCP, or the Dataverse MCP that we just announced yesterday, is that an MCP is a way to kind of communicate with backend sources from AI. And what's really cool about that is that you can now, for instance, add the Dataverse MCP server into ChatGPT, into Claude, into Copilot Studio, into a whole bunch of different products. And what you can do then is, for instance, you can list records, you can update records, you can create records, you can also call AI prompts, for instance, if you want to. You can get knowledge sources from Dataverse as well. There's lots of possibilities there, and it's really cool that we can see it also outside of the Power Platform now, because connectors, we used to have that already, and that was basically connecting to outside sources, but it was all in the context of the Power Platform, and now we can see Dataverse going into other places instead of just staying within the Power Platform. And I think that's the big deal, basically. And yeah, we also released a lab, so I think that's also a good one for the viewers to see. We have an aka.ms link. I'll share it with you so that you can include that as well. That's really good.
Daniel presented on the importance of AI prompts and how they'll factor into everything from individual user interactions with a Copilot to enterprise AI scenarios.
So I really love AI prompts. It's one of my favorite features in the Power Platform, because I'm a really big advocate for reusability. So if you can have a component inside of the Power Platform and you can use it in multiple areas, I really am a big fan of that. So reusability is a big thing, and of course AI prompts is one of those features that you can use in Power Apps, Power Automate, Copilot Studio. You can use them in multiple products, and that's why I really like it. And it's also one of those features that is really interesting to use as a first step into AI, because everybody knows how to prompt already. They know ChatGPT, they know Claude, they know all those tools already, and they can write their prompts. But then the reusability is the part that's usually a problem, and that's why I really wanted to talk about that.
Yeah, and it sort of shows people, I think, people like myself included, how prompts sort of fit into more of an enterprise application of some of these AI tools, right? Because it standardizes certain things.
Yeah, and you're really putting the prompt to the backend, basically, because you can use it in a Power App, for instance, and then you can have a form in a Power App, for instance, where you enter some data, like a really short message, and then you can put that into the prompt. So the users don't have to write a really long story. They can just add their own staccato words, basically, like really short terms, and then it will generate that for them. You can kind of start not from scratch, because I'm typically a little bit of a lazy developer, so I like to cut corners where I can and where it's useful and where it's also good, because I also want to make sure that the prompt that comes out of Copilot is good. So I always review it before I hit save. But it's really, really important to have that, and it saves a lot of people a lot of time, because nobody has to know all the details about a prompt. If they can use Copilot for it, it's really helpful.
And you talked a little bit, I think, about this already, but for a scenario like a vendor who's creating a commercial product like what Resco creates, how does this relate to them?
Yeah, so if you look at Resco, they have a form solution, for instance, so you can have forms and then it saves the data into Dataverse. If you do something like that, you can of course also create an AI prompt behind that will summarize those responses or do something with that data, and that's what's really the power of that AI prompt, I think.
Resco CTO Tomasz Michalek told us that aligning with Microsoft's roadmap will mean embracing elements of their AI vision, especially in two key roles. Here's Tomasz.
So we started to invest a lot into questionnaires. We are updating the front end, which is the first step for us. So it's more natively integrated with the AI capabilities that are currently available. And we believe that questionnaires as a technology have a huge potential in the future, where the AI agents will take over some of our work and can act on behalf of us, because we are running into a situation when the prompting itself is not precise enough. I am an engineer for a long time. I'm used to writing code being really precise. But sometimes you can't escape this, and the AI agents need way more data or guidance for the tasks they need to fulfill. And questionnaires provide exactly this. So you don't have to write code. You can be someone who is not an engineer and be still able to define precise goals for the AI agents with data, the requirements for those data, business rules and validations in no-code environment. And now you can let the agents in the future execute on those goals.
For some partner perspective, we talked to Jonathan Tobe of Field Boss. They make software for elevator, HVAC, and specialty mechanical contracting firms. They're also a partner award winner from Resco at this year's event. Jonathan explained that his firm is watching both Microsoft's roadmap and the work Resco is doing on inspections technology.
There was a number of issues that we've had with it's in our market, with some of the equipment that's being serviced being regulated, inspections, documentation, and then follow-up actions on different sort of events that happen in the field are really, really important to our customers. So the inspection module they had was really designed to work with their field service offering as well. We would take that and we would actually have to take the data, put into Dynamic CE, use like a document core pack or something to produce reports, and the file sizes were a problem for a while. This new version just eliminates so many of the bottlenecks we had around execution. So now I think what's going to happen is people in the field will be filling out their checklist, they'll be doing their safety checks, and we could affect actions much better across the whole platform. And Microsoft Teams, I think, is going to be something that's going to be very interesting. So it really, really is a game changer, and we're still trying to get our head around what all the options are for this thing. So it's a big day.
Resco Next also featured customers sharing their business challenges and the solutions that they've built with Resco products and tools. At dental products maker Ultradent, which has been using Resco's mobile tools with Dynamics 365 sales for 10 years, they are looking beyond some of their existing offline and trade show sales scenarios to bring more performance and find new use cases. Here's Cameron Mott, business analyst at Ultradent, to tell us more.
Yeah, so we obviously think sales first because that's kind of our entrance point, but some of the other things that they've shown in like the technician work, we have a lot of manufacturing lines that I could see potentially profiting from Resco, and so it's something we want to approach with other areas of our business.
Another customer presentation that generated some interest was energy services firm NOV, which has converted their asset tracking process on work sites from manually reading tags to using RFID scanners. In a dirty environment like an oil field, the change, which they implemented with the help of Resco R&D, means using newer devices and technology to accelerate the on-site work. Here's NOV Senior Business Analyst Marlon Salinas, who spoke at Resco Next.
So their basic need was to, they needed something to be able to track these assets that were out on the rig site. And, as I showed in the presentation, the conditions are just some of the worst imaginable as far as like cleanliness, and the ability to read a series of numbers is a difficult task. So they suggested RFID technology, and so we connected with Resco, and they helped us make that dream a reality for them. So we're just in the end phases of testing, and so all that's been successful. So now we're moving actually to push it more towards going live in production. Yeah. So.
Have you had any response from other people here at the event to what you showed?
Yeah, so a lot of interest and a lot of curiosity as to how we pulled it off, how we're dealing with the multiple scans. When you scan, pull the trigger once, and capture multiple tags, how are we handling that? So yeah, so definitely a lot of feedback from other people that also have facing the same types of challenges, maybe not the same environment, but something very similar. So it's been very interesting to hear everybody else's story and identifying those commonalities between all of us, and so that was pretty good, pretty interesting.
Interesting, yeah. One of the things I took from hearing your presentation was how fast sort of Resco's team sort of adapted a few things to make it possible.
Yeah, for sure.
Did I understand that right?
Yeah. So they were at the ready, 100% of the way. And any email I sent over there, any sort of questions I had, or our developers ran into any sort of issues, we reached out and they replied to us pretty quickly. So their willingness to help us out and make sure that we succeeded was instrumental in our eventual success with it.
Resco's Tomasz Maszalek also commented on what NOV was able to show and how learning from customers' requirements can impact what his team prioritizes for R&D.
So my absolutely favorite personally was the NOV case, seeing how much impact these relatively simple, they are complex, but these changes can have going from just reading the text manually on the parts that you need to maintain towards scanning them with RFID, something that we're used to if you walk into a store, everyone has RFID readers, so we don't even sometimes realize how much potential there is still to digitize these industries and how much impact it can have on the business.
And with Resco's roadmap focused on 3 priorities that we wrote about in a recent article, inspections, power components, and broad support for mobile devices and platforms, Tomasz said he foresees new opportunities opening up for customers and partners.
Right now, we are and many companies are integrating AI into existing questionnaires and technologies, so it's more AI assisted. Even the agents, if they are acting on your behalf, it's more assistance than fully fledged agent. So right now we will see the AI agents helping you to fill the forms, to navigate the applications. In many places, they will lower the barrier for entry, so you don't need to have detailed technical knowledge. You just need to know what you want to achieve, and the agents will guide you and help you to achieve those goals.
Another theme that has come up at this event, I think you've raised it, I think others have as well, is sort of the access to critical data that companies struggle to get their arms around or to really control. I think that's one of the goals I was hearing in Resco's roadmap. Can you talk about any maybe particular opportunities that you see or just ways that you're going to approach that challenge differently to help your customers?
So in the past, it was this huge boom of 5G and IoT devices, and I think they will still have their moment. There is huge opportunity for sensory data to be collected. But also, there is huge potential for non-sensory data that you cannot measure by devices, and you still need to collect. This is information on your partner's environment and colleagues, people, and all sorts of data that are not measurable. And we believe the technology will enable you to do 2 things. First, it will enable you to define your processes. So now you can define what is important for your specific industry. And the second part, of course, once you have the data in Dataverse, for example, you can unleash all the AI agents and copilots on those data to help you move forward.
And that's it for this episode. My thanks to the entire Resco team for making this coverage possible, and to all the people who took the time to speak with me at the event. We will post links to our coverage in the show notes. If you have any feedback or want to get in touch with me, you can reach me by email, jason@msdynamicsworld.com, or follow us on LinkedIn for all of our updates. Until next time, this is MS Dynamics World, signing off.